So everything we've talked about up to this point has been about clustering virtual machines at the hypervisor level. And that's great because it's very easy. Any OS in that virtual machine, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be enterprise versions, and so it doesn't have to be special clustered configurations of your application. It's very simple. It covers everything. But if you are the SQL Server admin and you need to ensure the availability of your SQL Server database, and that's where your primary objective is, clustering at the hypervisor level only protects against hardware failures. It does not know anything about the application running inside the virtual machine. If you need that level of protection, if you need to ensure the availability of the application, you need to be inside the virtual machine and cluster just like you would a regular physical server. You cluster SQL and you fail over SQL with that. So we can do that as well inside the virtual machines. And so I'll show you basically inside a VM. I'm just going to create a simple resource, and this will also demonstrate how DataKeeper integrates with failover clustering. So the traditional cluster looks like this: shared storage in the middle. That represents a single point of failure. With our clusters, we now again replicate. So there's a failure, just like we saw with the virtual machine. Your application will fail over. So this demonstration is really just a very basic, just to show you how easy. One of the common misconceptions about multi-site clusters is that it's complex and expensive. I'm going to show you it's not complex. It's basic clustering. If you know that, then we saw how to create a mirror. We're going to create another mirror, and we'll just say the E drive. So we'll do the E from VMC1 to...
Just a question.
Yes?
Is it possible to use device IDs and not device letters?
No, it's limited today to letters. We're considering device IDs because you are limited to the number of virtual machines you could then build out to...
If you have 50 machines, you
yes.
don't have 50 letters. So.
Right, yeah, 50 machines, and you're going to have multiple nodes. Again, it's on our backlog to do that. And I'm not sure why. Let me take a quick look here. I didn't see the second virtual machine running. Let's see. We're running low on time here. Try it one more time.
Did you pull the up?
These are my virtual machines, so these should be running. May have to skip that. I can show you a different way. I won't be able to show you the complete demo, but I'll give you a general idea. I'll have to troubleshoot that. If I have a resource and I want to add a, some errors going on with the cluster. So if I have a resource and I want to add a DataKeeper volume to it, I simply right-click on the resource and say Add Resource, Add More Resources, DataKeeper Volume. And here's that volume. So I just added that volume to the cluster. If I had a, I think I know. Okay, well, if I added that volume to the cluster, then I would go to the Properties panel and choose the volume here. I haven't created the mirror, so it's not there, but that would associate with that. So that's basically how I created the virtual machine resource that we saw fail over. So that's the cluster integration. So So finally, the automatic disaster recovery is really what we saw with the failover clusters, but now the virtual machines are located in different cities. And so now, the good thing about the automatic disaster recovery, if you think of a true disaster, if it's a natural disaster, the employees responsible for actually deploying the disaster recovery plan may not be able to report to work. The road conditions might prevent them from doing that. So multi-site clusters enables automatic disaster recovery and eliminates the requirement of the human intervention. And it's also a very easy way to test disaster recovery, because failover is very fast and quick. And this is just the same picture. If we had a WAN between the two, we'd see we fail and we would replicate back. Same as if it was on a local area network. One thing on the slide I want to point out, I have a blog called Clustering for Mere Mortals, where I have lots of video demonstrations of what you've seen today. And I also have step-by-step articles that show you how to enable clustering. And with that, I'd like to invite my colleague up from Dresden to talk a little bit about the support options and how to get in touch.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave, for the presentation. Sie brauchen keine Angst haben. Es kommt jetzt nicht nochmal eine ausführliche Demonstration. Was ich Ihnen sagen wollte, was wir mit dem Kompetenz- und Support-Center in Dresden für Sie tun können. Vielleicht eine Abwandlung des bekannten Spruches, wir können nicht alles, aber Deutsch sprechen an der Stelle. Das zweite ist, wir haben natürlich für Sie dieselben Bürozeiten. Wir können mit Ihnen Pre-Sales Support machen, wir können mit Ihnen zum Kunden gehen, schicken Sie uns Ihre Konfiguration, wir schauen sie gern durch. Und was ich Ihnen auch sagen kann, wir sind beauftragt, im Namen von SteelEye den First- und Second-Level Support zu machen. Das heißt, wir liefern Ihnen und Ihren Kunden, Dankeschön, das brauche ich nicht mehr so laut sprechen, an dieser Stelle, wir liefern Ihnen den 7x24-Stunden-Support in 2 Stunden Reaktionszeit aus Dresden. Zuständig sind wir für Central Region, wie man so schön im Deutschen allerdings sagt. Das heißt Deutschland, Österreich, Schweiz, Liechtenstein spricht auch Deutsch und Osteuropa. In dem Bereich sind wir derzeit mit ca. 1200 Clusterknoten unterwegs, die wir betreuen, die wir supporten, die wir auch teilweise im Assessment Support haben. Das sind unsere Leistungen. Wenn wir nicht weiterkommen, haben wir Kollegen in den USA, die dann die Probleme sicher lösen können. Das vielleicht kurz zur Vorstellung des Kompetenz- und Support Centers. Gerne.
I have a question for the techniques. Sorry.
Yes, a question today.
To give us an idea about the poor man's solution. I'm a poor man, so I
Okay, so